I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. I wake up today feeling stronger than I've ever felt in my life before. But I'm stronger than I ever felt in my life before because I was able to force myself to walk through that spiritual fire, to walk through the thing that made me the most nervous, the most scared, and the most uncomfortable. Now, I've been stubborn for a lot of years, I'm going to be honest. I didn't want to do it. I avoided it for as long as possible. I avoided it for so long to the point where God got sick of me. And in 2013, He made me have to have a surgery that caused me to go on this whole spiritual process. He caused my knees to dislocate, which made me have to have a surgery to slow me down, to make me have to open up and deal with my issues. And that's what started this whole spiritual journey. Without that, I don't know if I would have ever dealt with my issues and healed myself and put myself through this spiritual process to be able to deal with my issues and find that internal peace that I had been searching for. But I'm just thankful what happened, and I feel stronger today because I was able to walk through those issues. I was able to deal with that pain. I was able to walk through what scared me the most, step by step, day by day. It wasn't easy when I first started. I was nervous. I didn't know what I was doing. I was uncomfortable. But one day I just decided to give in to the feeling. And ever since then, I just been slowly going, video by video, experience by experience, dream by dream, just working my way through it, healing, getting there, step by step. Didn't know what I was doing when I first started. Just started making videos to feel good. And it then exploded into something that I never expected. And now I've healed in my spiritual process. I feel stronger than I've ever felt before in my life because I know I healed my soul. I know I fixed my issues. I know I apologized for whatever I have done in my life, and I personally feel better. My soul feels cleaner. I feel stronger. But I had to walk through that darkness. I had to walk through that loneliness. I had to walk through that pain, and I had to understand it. I had to stop running from who I used to be. I had to stop running from what I hated. I had to stop running from who I was and get to understand it so I can get the clearer picture of who I'm going to be in life. And it was the most uncomfortable process I ever been through, but the most enriching and understanding process I ever went through. I hated myself when I first started this journey. Now I love who I am and I love what I know and I love how strong it's making me. But my thing is, you can't run from your issues and then pile other people's issues on top of it and expect to be okay. You have to deal with your issues first of all, because if you don't deal with your issues and you try to pile other people's issues on top of it, it's just gonna conflict and it's gonna make you hate yourself more and hate the journey more. The sooner you deal with your issues and the sooner you deal with what you have going on, the better your life process is going to go and the better you're going to understand your process of life and what you're going through. You have to deal with your stuff first. Then, if you want to help somebody, you can. Don't be like I was backwards and trying to get involved in everybody else's stuff but not healing your own. I didn't really understand it till I started applying the things I would tell you guys and I started healing my soul, healing my own soul and healing myself and healing my own journey. And that was the deepest thing I ever went through. That was the thing that changed my soul and changed my life and made me realize I'm fearless and I can go through anything. Because the scariest thing is the spiritual journey for all of us spiritualists. If we can survive that, we can survive anything that life can throw at us. Because for me, that was the hardest thing admitting the things I did wrong, admitting the things I didn't like about myself, admitting my immaturities, admitting everything that broke my heart, changed me, or everything that I never wanted to deal with since I was a kid. And then finally getting over it, feeling your soul grow, feeling your spiritual strength grow, feeling your spiritual abilities grow as you heal, and then accepting that healing is more important than anything else in the process. So you willing to admit, grow, and let go of whatever you have to let go of to continue to grow. And now I stand as the strongest version of myself ever, feeling like I can go through anything that God wants to put me through and survive because I already been through the worst. I already been through the darkest. I already been through the most painful. I don't feel like, honestly, it's nothing out here on earth that God can put me through that I can't already survive. Because the spiritual journey was the darkest, hardest journey anybody in life could ever go through, in my personal opinion, from my personal spiritual process. But I love myself now. I love my journey now. I love who I am now. My piece of advice is love yourself sooner. Find out who you are sooner and deal with your stuff sooner. Because if you let it pile on and pile up, you're going to be dealing with stuff from the time you were a kid to the time you were a young teenager to the time you were an adult, just like I was. And it's going to make your process longer than it has to be. You need to deal with your issues right from the beginning so you can heal, fix your body, and fix your situation and get aligned with your spiritual process sooner, in my personal opinion. But that's just my opinion from my personal spiritual experience. I hope it helps you guys, and I hope it motivates you to deal with your issues as soon as possible and fix what you got going on, because life is too short to be walking around with issues, bitter at the world, blaming everybody when it's really you and your issues that you need to deal with, that you're avoiding dealing with. Deal with your own issues, fix your life so you can walk around happier and you can live the life that God ultimately wanted you to live. Don't be as hard headed as I was and avoid it for as many years as I did because you're afraid of change. Accept that change, heal yourself, and make your life better. After I went through the tough part, I was like, why did I avoid this for so long? This feels so good. And I learned so much and I know so much now. It's like I could have been so much further in life if I had a did it sooner. That's the one thing I'm mad about myself with. I wish I had a did it, push myself through it years sooner, and I would have been so much better. But that's just part of the process. You live and you learn, and I try not to beat myself up about it. But that's the one thing that always bothered me about my journey. The only thing I say is I wish I had done it 10 times sooner, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion, though.